The mess today. It's your boy Paul. So first up, like, share, subscribe, and join the channel. For let's get down to the craziness of today. And we got up that's Donald Trump. And so Iraq had to let Donald Trump know, gave the United States a warning there will be an all-out war if the United States start to if the US end up back in Israel in the conflict that's been going on for the last what 6 days, 6 7 days now. Yeah, so Iran said, you need to let the two countries that's going at it handle it themselves. But Donald Trump supposed to be a person that's supposed to be trying to fix the situation, but he really ain't. He's interfering to the point where Iran said, "You keep on playing with me, I'm gonna have to. It's gonna be an all-out war." So Donald Trump thinking he ain't a good businessman. He's a con artist. He thinking he doing something and they telling him to back away. And the Israel minister want the US to just they giving us they then gave them weapons and stuff like that. That's all situated and been helping them get back on their feet, but they don't want them to be involved either. They want to let them handle it. But Donald Trump is a flaky person, and he may end up trying to do something that's gonna cause this to go really left. But that's what's going on there. So let's get down to the next thing that we got up. Y'all hold up for a minute. Hold up. Okay, come on. Still getting used to this system. Next up, let's get into Miss Jones. So she claiming that she used to be friends with Wendy Williams. She used to be close friends with Wendy Williams. I don't know if they still close friends now, but she was on the Breakfast Club to let us know that the ex-husband, you know, the ex-husband, Kevin Hunter, is what allegedly tried to take her out. he Yeah, so she was up there letting us know that he tried to take her out because he didn't like the friendship that Wendy and her had. And at one point in their friendship, he tried to block to the point where he didn't want them to deal with each other anymore because her and Wendy was really close friends. And Wendy would tell her things that he did not like her to know. And she also told that back in the day, she said her and Wendy actually had a back and forth because they both are radio personalities. And back in the day, she said she knew Wendy prior to Wendy marrying Kevin. And she said when she used to be on the radio show and she would call some guy name, like you tell him shut the door, she wouldn't, that would really be Kevin she would be talking to. And so she also said they on Breakfast Club, she telling the stories of different things that had happened between them. And she ended up, one of the hosts of the Breakfast Club asked her about, do you think this is Wendy karma? And she said yes. She said, God is yes, it is karma. God is, paying her back for the things she have done to other people. She hit people when they were down. And I'm like, yeah, Wendy has done a lot of stuff, but I said she was also doing her job, you know. Even if it wasn't true what she was telling, a lot of stuff she didn't know a lot of the insight on these different celebrities. She may have been wrong for how she put their business out there. She put it all out, and she didn't care about nobody. But when you're in that radio, the radio and the entertainment field, some type of way, I'm sorry, you got to do what you got to do. And to get where she at, she did what she had to do. And so the girl said, this is part of her karma, and she believed that God is trying to get her to realize she needs to just be very honest with herself, and then maybe things will turn around. It can be. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about it. But let's move on past them. Let's get into my next person I got up, and that would be, let's see. So now we got a story that's going on where a 41-year-old man and mother and son. This was all over garbage. Yeah, son. Her son ended up confronting the neighbor because the neighbor was throwing his trash in her yard. And apparently it gets so heated to the point where the neighbor who was throwing the trash in the yard ended up pow-powing both of them. They died at the scene. So apparently what makes this even more sadder is that the victims, the son who went to the man to confront him about it, ended up having his kids in the car. His 3 kids was in the car when this all happened. So they synced the whole thing. And the witnesses on the scene said this man ended up fleeing in a Honda. I said, y'all didn't have to tell that. He fled in a Honda. In a Honda. I said, baby, the Honda. Not the Honda. I said when I read that in the article, I said the Honda. But they ended up arresting him Monday morning at 9 a.m. So now you gonna be charged with what? Probably manslaughter or second degree. Because I don't know if it was I don't think it would be intent. They may do second degree. That's what I think. Tell me how y'all feel about it. So let's move on past these people. Now let's get into the next person we got up, and that will be rolling through 50 Cent. So 50 came out to defend his homeboy Tyler Perry in this assault. There's a lawsuit that's going on. S8 that's going on. He came out to defend him. He don't believe the hype that's going on. I said I wouldn't find that shocking. I said we talking about 50. It's not. But the crazy thing about this whole Tyler Perry mess is that you read the comments of when everything came out yesterday about the lawsuit, that people are, they kind of more. You see, more people are more that this is a lie, this and that. I said, but let's be real. Tyler Perry should not be doing. I said at this point, both of them, the victim and Tyler, to me, are both at fault about the whole case. If you know El Teddy channel, he went through the whole thing and read the whole thing. So it seemed like this whole event ended up happening because Mr. Dixon, he really wanted his money. Like Tyler ended up firing him and didn't pay him the rest of his money. Really what made this whole thing go down the way it did, because he didn't get paid the rest of his money because he worked for him. He was on the Oval. That was the last show that he was on with Tyler Perry, and his character got killed off. Well, got pow 4 times, but Tyler ended up ending it because the dude kept going along with this because he thought his career was going to go a lot higher. And he actually is a writer. And he had actually got a script that him and Tyler worked on. Tyler then did the pilot or whatever, and it didn't fall through. So it really comes down to, you should have just paid him. You should have gave him, I think if Tyler would have gave him the rest of his money from being employed by him when he left, he wouldn't be in this situation. But you also shouldn't be fraternizing with your employees. It's like, if you should know that that's like one-on-one. You should know that from the beginning that you don't do these type of things with these people, with your employees. It's like you got too comfortable in trying to get these men in his jeans when he kept telling you no. And that made you even want to do it more. So yeah, you got 50 out here trying to, ride it out for his friend. But let's move on past. Still, let's get into what's up next. And I'm gonna miss my girl. I'm gonna miss my girl. We got Food Network, Annie Burrell. Hope I'm saying the last name right. I said the crazy thing about it, I watched one of her shows where she does the worst cooks. She's one of the hosts on there, helping out them people. And I'm like, I'm really gonna miss her. I said because I loved her personality. I love what she did. And it's just sad that she gone. She died at 55. Um, I'm really sad for her. My condolences to her family. She will truly be missed. But let's move on past my girl. God rest her. Let's get into the next up. And that is NFL quarterback Richard Sherman. So this man is now charged with a DUI because that came from when he was arrested back in 2024. So his blood alcohol level they said was believed to be over the limit of, it was about around 0.11. And then they said because the legal limit is actually 0.8. He was 0.3 over the limit. So he was charged with a DUI. So, sir, good luck with that. Hope you in rehab, to get these charges to kind of go away. And that's what's going on there. So let's move on to my next people. Who else I got up here? Got up next, and let's see who's going on the round. And we got coming through. Yes, let's give a congratulations to Burrell Spencer. So he actually has his own makeup company called The Crown Skin. It actually is a big hit on TikTok. And I actually, what makes it crazy, I just seen him in my timeline on TikTok. People buy his products and stuff like that. And I just, saved it because I wanted to go back and see what these products about. But congratulations to him. He made history being, the first Black-owned company brand to do it. Congratulations. So let's move on. Yes, let's get into. Now let's get into I want to say Generation Z reality show. Bravo. So we got Rilly Burris. So she ended up getting into it with her friend, castmate. I forget his name. He's a snob. He's a straight up snob. And this man, she told him how she felt, and whenever they got into it, or a situation where she brought up an incident. When they were all out, there were two groups of friends. He had another group of friends that came there, group of ladies, but they didn't speak to the cast members or whatever. Her and the girl that used to don't wash her hands in the bathroom. I think her name Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. So they were both in agreement that it was rude that he had a group of friends that didn't show any manners by introducing themselves. So Riley went over and introduced herself to the ladies. They chit chatting, saying how I'm Riley, and they just had a little conversation. They don't know. They're going somewhere, all of the cast. And he telling her she was aggressive. You came up her to aggressively. And he was just very, very rude. He was doing the little one, the hand movement and all that. And she really ended up getting upset because he keeps saying that she's aggressive. But he wasn't the only one that said that she was aggressive. It was also Georgia. I think that's her name. Didn't wash her hands lady. Yes. She said that after Riley called her about, not washing your hands. So, but she ended up saying, we got past that. George said, we got past our situation, and I have got to know you I enjoy you. I love you. I enjoy you. I like you. She said, yeah, we cool and stuff. But he kept on going. He was so he's a narcissist. He was very much demeaning to her. And I'm glad that Riley actually spoke up for herself. I said, my issue is for Meredith's son. If Riley is your homegirl, why the hell was you sitting there next to this ninja and allowing him just to disrespect your friend? Because you didn't like it when he disrespected your sister. When he said, yeah, we're gonna go back to the house. You know what that means when it comes to him. You didn't like that insemination of what he said trying to do with your sister, but this is your friend, your female friend at that, and you allow a male to actually do that, and you do nothing, about it. But you, when Riley, they get to their destination, Riley moved out to the side. She called her mama, tell her mama what's going on. Her mama giving her word of encouragement. Meredith's son coming up there, rubbing on her back, and you good. I said, like, I'll be looking at him funny, because that tells me a lot about you overall as a friend. Because you just gonna allow somebody to do that. And the guy that Riley got into it with, he apologized because Damon Dash's daughter actually got on him during a little one-on-one thing that was going on, and she actually told him, you need to apologize. You was wrong. Your friend is telling you how she felt, and you hurt her. And so he apologized, but I think while Riley was on the phone with her mama encouraging her and saying she liked that Riley speaks up for herself. You're going to meet a whole bunch of different people in life, but, he going to understand what it is to deal with Black women. I said, he understand. I said, that's the one thing that makes me know about that man. He's understand about all ethnicities of women. He didn't dealt with them, had dated them. He has slept with them. So he understand a Black woman. He just don't give up about what he doing and how it makes people feel. And he approved that. Because somebody else in the group needed to apologize again. Truly apologize. He said, if you don't, I said, he's saying, like, I did apologize. I just, if I don't mean it, I don't want to move on. I said, if you don't feel sorry about anything you do, don't apologize for it. Don't give a half apology. Don't just say sorry. Say, you stand in your ish. That's what you got to do. But I felt bad for Riley in that moment, but I'm happy that she did stand up for herself. And I'm happy that Damon Dash's daughter did call him out. She was the only other one that really did. But y'all let me know how y'all felt about everything that I talked about today. It's your boy Paul. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, and join the channel. Bye, y'all.